All right, hello everyone. Tyler King here alongside Vinny Benedetto after Game 5 between the Nuggets and the Clippers. Nuggets take care of business tonight here in Ball Arena. Go up 3-2 in this really heavyweight first-round series against the Clippers. Nuggets built a 20-ish point lead, I think, early in the fourth quarter again, but they don't blow it like they do in Game 5 or in Game 4 in LA. They're able to hang on there, get the starters some extra rest in this one. Both teams kind of cleared the benches by the end of the game. But Vinny, this game from the start was all about Jamal Murray, who came out with a burst, looked like a guy we haven't seen in a while, and this is probably his most impressive playoff performance since the 2023 NBA Finals, if you had to say. Think he finished with 43 points tonight, 26 shots, plus 17 in the game. Just how impressed were you with this version of Jamal that showed up tonight for the Nuggets?
Yeah, it was really impressive, and for me, I think what stands out is it wasn't just the scoring. Sure, like it was an efficient 43, but I think there were also 7 assists. Some of those I thought were really impressive. 5 rebounds and 3 steals. So for me, it was just like the activity level, and like you saw the burst. I think his first points, driving dunk down at that end, hit a couple threes. But he had enough juice in the fourth quarter after that big DeAndre Jordan block, had another dunk. So I think just the energy and the activity across the board is what really stands out.
Just one turnover to go with that as well. You mentioned the assists he made, the playmaking he had. It just felt like he had a different burst. Like we haven't seen this healthy of a Jamal Murray in the playoffs. Maybe, like I said, since the Miami Game 3 that he had a huge game there for the Nuggets. But Russell Westbrook also came off the bench and gave the Nuggets great minutes. What did he finish with? I think they're 21 points off the bench in 25 minutes. Just you could see the energy, maybe the fresh legs a little bit too after not playing in Game 4. It's been 5 or 6 days now since Russ has played in a game, and the Nuggets really needed everything he had tonight. It felt like I said, it felt like he just gave him some juice off the bench. Is that a kind of just him coming back in this game? Is that kind of a move that can swing a series? What he gave them tonight, especially.
Yeah, and you know, it's hard to say Russ still feels something personal against the Clippers because he plays with this kind of intensity like all the time. But I feel like there is a little something extra.
Him and Bogdanovic are going at it in these games.
Yeah, and anytime Russ hit a shot down here, it was like he always had something for the Clippers bench. And he said afterward tonight, like, his kind of fun on the basketball court doesn't look like a lot of other people's version of fun. It might not come with a smile. But if he's playing like that, I think it gives the Nuggets a real shot to finish this off in 6.
And on the other side for the Clippers, we've seen a lot of bad James Harden playoff games throughout his career, and today was up there. Not up there. He's had a lot of 2 for 11 kind of games, but a performance the Clippers were not hoping to get from James Harden. Kind of only took 9 shots, not really aggressive. The Nuggets, Christian Brown deserves a lot of credit for his defensive effort all series, but Nuggets really trying to take him out of this game tonight specifically, and it worked. I mean, if the Clippers aren't going to get much of anything from not just James Harden, but Kawhi Leonard only took 15 shots in this game, it really feels like the Nuggets have found a way, at least defensively, to make the other Clippers players beat them. And while guys like Chris Dunn hit a bunch of threes tonight, Ivica Zubac had a playoff career high 27 points. It still wasn't enough, and it feels like the Clippers still need both James Harden or Kawhi Leonard, one of those guys at least, to force a Game 7 and win Game 6 or even win the series.
Yeah, and Bogdanovic had, I think, his best game of this series.
Yeah, him too, yeah.
So I think, the thing that the Nuggets have kind of found something that works in that, Christian's been picking up James Harden in the backcourt for much of these last few games.
Making his life as difficult as possible.
And, not letting him walk into the front court, in a rhythm, making him kind of work for everything, doing a nice job of keeping him off the free throw line for the most part. So, obviously James Harden is a talented enough player to figure out a correction for this and, have a really good game in Game 6. But, Christian has been, I think, an underrated aspect of this series. I think he had 12 rebounds tonight, 4 of those on the offensive glass. And I think some of those offensive rebounds came in the fourth quarter as the Nuggets were trying to maintain separation, something they couldn't do in Game 4.
I mentioned this at the top, but the Nuggets did not have to. Russell Westbrook played a part in this as well, but DeAndre Jordan as well, Peyton Watson, and then the big lead at the end. But I don't think any of the Nuggets starters played. Jamal Murray was the only guy that played over 40 minutes, and he played 40 minutes in 2 seconds. So the Nuggets did not, after in Game 4, all 5 starters played over 42 minutes. Guys playing 45 minutes for some of them. Just a big night to get off their legs a little bit, as much as possible, heading into a pivotal Game 6. I mean, do you feel like, the rest of the way here, between Game 6 and between Game 7, if there is one, only 1 day off in between these games. Obviously, we had 2 in between before this game. Do you feel like the Nuggets will be a little bit fresher than maybe they otherwise would have been if this was a tighter, more competitive game?
Yeah, I think that's a massive point for this Nuggets team because the Clippers have more depth.
Yeah, they're just playing more guys. Yeah,
they're playing more guys. And one thing we mentioned it pregame, but Ty Lue is not comfortable playing Kawhi, an entire second half like we've seen some other coaches do.
A lot of Nuggets, like a bunch of guys did in Game 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I think given the lack of rest, and one thing is so Thursday is going to be an 8 p.m. Mountain Time tip-off.
Yes.
Game 7 would be Saturday, and we don't know a tip-off time for that. So that could be like
an afternoon
could
game.
Be an afternoon tip. I feel like it's certainly big for the Nuggets that they didn't have to ride 4 or 5 guys, much past 37, 38 minutes tonight.
All right, Vinny, before we get out of here, do you think we'll be back here on Saturday for a Game 7?
Yes.
All right, that's a good way to end it. That'll do it from Vinny and I here from Ball Arena. Full coverage from Game 5 in Wednesday's Denver Gazette. I'm trying to get my days right here. But the two of us each have stories. Our colleague columnist Mark Kisla has a column up on Russell Westbrook. Full coverage of this game. And then Vinny and I will have stuff leading into Game 6 on Thursday. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to follow all of our coverage at denvergazette.com.